What's that?
All the gas is leaking.
Dan here, DSP Shop. So it's a new day, new video. We left it last. We had this thing kind of running. You know, we came out here. I said, "Are you ready?" This and that. And all of a sudden, within 3 seconds, you're sneezing. Anywho, we got this thing dialed. So we had it running on the last video, and it was pretty precarious. We'll use that word. This morning I came out early, and before we even started filming, I started cleaning up a little bit because it was a disaster in here. So that's always nice. You know me, I like to work in a clean shop. But I went through all the wiring and got it just kind of, you know, snuck away. It's just, it's not so, nothing is run, but everything is kind of in the areas. So that's all cool. I still have to hook up the starter trigger wire. And there's actually a body ground, which I want to hook up to the motor. So we got that going. And then I just have to put an eyelet or something on the main power, which I'll do. Might just put a new connector on there. I took the fuel line off, and I mean, the fuel filter's pretty gungy. I blew air all the way to the back, so that's taken care of. So we can have a fuel cell in the back, which that's what I was just working on while Danny was coming out, which basically is a coolant jug with a hose in it, but I electrical taped it. So that's cool. So my plan is we can put this right next to all these cardboard boxes, like that. And there's a hole in the trunk. We'll just kind of sneak that through there. We just kind of, you know. And we're good. Honestly, that's pretty safe. That's all. Let's be honest. A fuel tank is just a big tank full of fuel with 2 straps holding it, so that's just fine. So now that is hanging down. It's not siphon feeding, so that's good. I just got to put a hose clamp on the metal line, and we can get that run up. And I'd like to see. Yeah, this is the only other wire I have to terminate. So I think that's what we're going to do. I'd like to maybe just get a little bit of electrical done on it, make sure that's done, and run it and make sure it has fuel, just because that's kind of nice.
Well, and the whole point is it's not for driving around the block or driving at home, it's driving on a trailer.
Yeah, well, at the end of the day, it'll go around the block. I mean, that's a gallon. This thing's got to get 10 miles to the gallon, so you go 10 miles. That's the way I look at it. And it's just all there. Everything is run. You know, the fuel line is cleaned, like all those little things. We didn't get a belt. I'm fighting out if I should even get one or not. I don't think it's going to run long enough to need one. It didn't leak a bunch of coolant on the ground, so that's good. It did suck it all down, so either it's got a leak in the motor or it's just kind of slowly but surely filling up. We didn't run it long enough to really get an airlock out of it. So we'll see if it's hydrolocked. I'd like to get it running. So I'll hook that up. I'll remake my battery connections. And then after that, I want to run these transmission lines we have to get taken care of. We actually have to run out because we didn't get it. We should have wanted to get spray lube. We forgot to get that. I need the fuel line or some sort of a, well, maybe I got some. I need some rubber line to make this attach to the cooler. And then we have to jack this thing up, and we have to hook the transmission up and put a drive shaft in it and a few things like that. So we may actually push it outside halfway just so it's not on the lift, because the lift's a bit of a hassle for those things. And then we got to put a shifter in it. A few little odds and ends, but realistically, I'm hoping. Huh?
Finish line.
Finish line. I was under there when I hooked up I was taking the old fuel line off. The brakes aren't quite as done as I was hoping in the back, so that may take a bit of kind of buffoonery stuff like that. But what I was thinking, it's maybe a little poo-poo, but it's got all brand new lines at the front, and it runs to the back. What I probably could do is just run one line, metal line, right to one wheel cylinder, which is dead wrong, but at least we'd have one wheel for braking, just so it would stop. You know, I mean, again, we're not trying to make it perfect. It has no front brakes whatsoever, so I'll have to get out there and see what we want to do with that. But yeah, I mean, honestly, it's going pretty good. So I'll get that taken care of. We'll come back. We'll hear it running because that's always fun. I need that little burst of motivation of revving an open header small block Chevrolet. And then we'll just kind of keep checking away at the boxes until they're all gone. It's a good car. It's way nicer than I thought it was going to be. I kind of thought it'd be like, it's a flipper. Honestly, this is a driver with a fuel tank and a set of brakes. You'd be driving this thing to the car show.
Well, in like an afternoon, if somebody pre-ordered the parts, they'd have it ready to go.
So what we're saying is buy it here and roadkill at home. Danny, Double D guarantee.
No.
It's a good car. All right, let's get after it. So, I got the starter hooked up. We got the fuel line hooked up. I just made a new battery connection, just real simple, but it has something there. So that's cool. Just lock that in. So I think everything should be good. I'd like to see this thing just run off of the tank, just to make sure. I blew air through it, so it should be fine. But we'll spray a little fuel down its throat and you know, let it run for 30 seconds or a minute and then see if it'll idle on its own. I have confidence. I always have confidence, so. Ready? Fuel? Well, maybe not. Come on. Shouldn't take that long to get a little fuel up, but hopefully there's no blockages. I blew air through it, so it should be fine. Test 3. It's definitely not picking up fuel for some reason. I can't imagine why. I wonder if that tank needs a vent in it, if it sucked it. Just in case. We'll try again. You don't gotta twist my arm too hard to rev it up though, you know, like. What's that?
All the gas is leaking.
Well, that's probably the problem then. You had a little panic moment. Is it pouring out still?
Yeah.
Oh. Oh, it's got a bad leak. Hang on, I got it. So obviously, but it wasn't doing it before, it just started, eh?
I'm not sure, but I just noticed it.
Let's just see. See how bad it is. Yeah, that's a leak, all right. Okay, well, good to know. So it has a leak. I think that's all metal line. So it's got a little piece of rot to it. That's unfortunate. Maybe I'll pull the grinder out and just zip it off real quick with a bunch of sparks flying everywhere.
That sounds bad.
Yeah, we'll have to let that air out a little. So now, I guess at this point we have to go get some fuel line, because all I have was this much left, which I was going to use to make these. But you know what? We might as well just get a roll of fuel line, some penetrating oil, and clearly we get that fixed. We'll let that evaporate. And we'll fix it. Wow, that's a bummer. You know, just when you think, I was telling Dan yesterday, like, this was a bit of a gamble. Like, we kind of had a deal with a guy who was going to buy it. And I was like, okay. But he's like, well, I want to run driving a trailer. I was like, okay, no problem. So I wasn't originally planning on making it go this far. I was just going to kind of put it together, self-trapper it, and sell it as a roller. But I thought, you know, we'll do it. The guy offered kind of decent money for it and wanted a project for his grandkid. I was like, oh, yeah, I kind of bought the story, and then it doesn't look like it's going to work out. And the risk you take when you're putting, I don't want to call it junk, but like leftover off-the-shelf parts, you never know what's going to work and not work. And I mean, this motor was a mystery. You know, the headers just happened to pop up. I was like, oh, that's great. And then I bought like the whole front dress and the intake and the carburetor. I had the distributor and had some plug wires. And anywhere along the line, you can run into a spot where the carburetor's just junk. And now you're like, well, I don't want to buy a carburetor for it to make it run and drive. Or like, you know, the water pump leaks, or the whatever, maybe the distributor's bad. And the second you have to start spending money, well, now it's like, oh. Because right now, all I'm out is the labor of putting the, you know, motor and transmission, all that in, and I get satisfaction of hearing it run, so it's justified in my mind. But stuff like that's a bummer. Anyway, we'll run out, get some fuel line, maybe some clamps we'll need. Yeah, that's not great. I hate working when there's gas on the ground too. That's just not good. Even with open headers, it could be shooting fire back like flames, so good thing someone noticed that. Safety. See, had that been a tripod situation, I'd have been there revving it, dumping fuel in. All of a sudden, why is the garage on fire? So,
why am I on fire?
We'll let that sit for a minute and make everything kind of cool off just in case, and we'll hightail it out, get some parts, and then come back. Oh, I wouldn't have been on fire. I'd be gone. I'd be in that truck, gone, as I'm calling the insurance company on the way out. All right, we'll see you shortly. Okay, so we're back from the Napa. Overpaid, underserviced. I've got a fuel line on it now, so that's all good. Kind of absorbed all a little bit, so it's now like a hot fireball. It's I guess not napalm. Napalm is styrofoam, so it's something. Anyway, so I don't really want to run it now. Again, I mean, when you're revving it and all that, if it shoots fire and all that out the exhaust, you have a potential for catastrophic events here. But we're going to work under the thing a little. I thought I'd just show you. This is a tool I bought not too long ago, and it's handy. So it's a ring gear wrench, so you can spin the motor over without having to, you know, put a bolt on the crank or whatever it may be. So I'm just putting bolts in the in a torque converter. So it just kind of lines up like that. This is a China one, so it's a little, you know, not exactly the best, but
pretty cool. I
prefer doing this than, like, you know, bumping the car over when you're under it and stuff. Oh, the lights. Ouch. This one's a little wore out. It needs like the end a little sharper. But let's roll the motor over here a little. Come on, I haven't punched you in the face yet. I'm sure it won't happen. So that's actually the last bolt. So we're turning the transmission over now too. So now we have this all dialed together. We have
the light's right in my way.
The light's right in your way.
Yeah.
So I get this torqued down so the transmission will be hooked up to the motor. And then after that, I have a couple of bolts you can put for the motor mount just to get them tightened up. But I want to run these transmission lines, so we'll get that dialed, a little bit of that overpriced Fuel line. Man, Napa, I tell you. So we get that dialed. The brake line, by the looks of it, is not all the way to the back, so that might be a bit more of effort than I was hoping for, but it's always more effort than I'm hoping for. And actually, we should look around and see what we even have, because speaking of Napa ripping you off, it's Sunday, so it's the only place that's open right now. But if we need a rubber brake line, we should get one. Ouch! Before they close. We probably got till 4 or 5 o'clock. Okay, so transmission's hooked up. Now, we basically just have to modify these lines into the existing lines with some rubber hose. We're not going to do anything too fancy with that. Then shifter and shifter cable. Make sure it's, kind of in gear. Actually, it looks like the differential has the little U-bolts on it, so that's its way at the back. But if that drive shaft just fits in there, we're dialed. So yeah, we might be able to see it go into gear. That'd be pretty exciting, eh? Except when the neighbors are washing their trucks, so revving it and all that probably isn't the plan just right now. I wonder, I don't think I have any mufflers. We can just make some header mufflers real quick for it. Actually, you know what we do have is we have 2 mismatched mufflers inside the house. I ordered one for your car and something else showed up, and then like 2 Walker mufflers. We might be able to weld a flange on them, bolt them on there, it would have exhaust. Wouldn't be as fun though. Okay, let's get some more stuff under here while we let it air out, and then yeah, we'll come back once or twice and see if we can get this thing with the wheels spinning. Wheels. Okay, so I got the transmission cooler hooked up. Nothing really to see there, but a couple of rubber lines. So that's all done. Now, let's go ahead and test to make sure all the ugly fireness is out. So we have to, well, have to is a strong word, but the leaf spring on the one side's broken. I don't know if I can weld it or not, but this side has the driver's side. Where am I gonna sit there, darling?
Well, where am I supposed to, what's broken where?
Well, you're in every bit of my way.
I'm trying to get the shot.
Well, get off my rolly chair. First of all.
Where's my rolly chair?
So what I has done is, I need a light too. You want to get that for the people? Daniela.
We'll hold them then.
Well, hang on. I'm going to do a little grinding here, so plug your ears. Make sure you edit that out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
People said I did a good job of lowering it last time.
Yeah, they said you were way better in bad chat, I read. Okay, so what we're going to do here is some rinky-dink fix. So, you can go on this. The shackle here, it's bent, and the threads in it are all plumb wore out, but I got it all back together. So what we're going to do is, it's supposed to be 7/16 fine, but as you can see, there's no fine left. So we're going to go ahead and weld it.
Oh, I don't think I want to be under the car.
Oh no, you're in a terrible spot. This is where the fire is and everything.
Yeah, this is not great.
I don't know.
You guys can see from back here.
I don't know why you would be there. So, that's not really gonna work. What can I do here? Like this. It still kind of smells like gas, but not like terrible. Oh, you know what? And this is, I forgot I welded it to the tip last time I used it. I thought, I'll fix this next time. Should have known it would be on camera, my life. Ugh, this isn't gonna work. Well, maybe it did. Okay, we gotta keep her flowing. So I'm just gonna weld this lug nut right to the shackle. Oh, nice. Not only did it sound bad, it also looks bad. Oh. So whoever's fixing this, they're cutting this out. Get one more tack up here. Okay. Ooh, rusty. Ah. Wow. Okay, I didn't want to weld very well. But we'll call it good enough so that the leaf spring's not going to fall out now. That's pretty good. This front one though, I don't know what I can really do because it's bust clean off. So it's just kind of floating around in there, but we'll call that done. That's our new fuel line, huh? Nickel copper. And actually, this thing does have a pretty rank brake line. We got the torches over here so we can probably heat all this up, take everything apart, get the bleeders out, and I don't know what it has for, oh, there's a brake line. It's just a little bent. I might be able to just use that. That'd be sweet. Yeah, we'll see what we can do here. Let's slide the drive shaft in while it's up like this. Well, there's a car above you. Gotta be careful there, baby. Oh, she's crying a little bit. We'll be right back after these tears. Thinking about it.
It hurt my head.
Oh, poor noggin.
My smart brain.
So I'm gonna, I gotta put that transmission mount in real quick. I think I have one. Yeah. So we'll just plunk one of these in there right quick. I don't know if I have hardware for it. I think it's probably 7/16. We'll see what size this is. Hopefully I'll have something next door. Let it sit in there. We're good. Okay, back at it a little bit. I'm missing a couple of things. I don't have any hardware for the transmission. 7/16. I very rarely use that. I mean, it's usually motor mounts and transmission mounts. So I guess I use it all the time, but I just don't have any. I put the drive shaft in. It fits, but it's short. I mean, it's about an inch short, but it'll do what we're needing it to do for now anyways. So there's a few kind of rinky-dink things, the transmission. I put the mount in. I just put a hose clamper out to hold it so it has the right spacing. You can already see now. I can put my hand behind the distributor, which we couldn't before. Mm-hmm. So that's nice. It might even push up enough we can put the clamp on a little bit more. But yeah, so that's kind of that. We got to put motor mount bolts in it yet. We don't have any of those. I could have sworn it was a drive shaft that was out of the other Camaro. And it was, I guess maybe that Muncie's a little shorter. I thought Muncie's and Turbo 350s were all the same in 400s. But anyways, maybe not. This is a shifter I bought. It came with the pile of stuff. It's kind of a neat one. It's a really old school shifter. Here, I think it's 71 or maybe, I don't know. Anyways, maybe it's older. This does not have a neutral safety or reverse light provision. So this could go, I mean, around here, if it never had it when it was built, you don't have to have it, even though I put a lot of stuff in. But like a Tri-5 Chevy, you could have put this in and it would technically be legitimate because backup lights were an option and neutral safety wasn't a thing, I believe. So the way this works is it just goes forward and back. So we're in park, you pull it back twice, you're in reverse, neutral, drive, 2, and 1. So it's kind of like a neat old school deal. I was gonna use this one, but it's quick click. I was gonna use this one, but it's pretty seized up. And you can see here, this thing has micro switches. This was added on, so who knows the deal is with that. Oh, everything's all bent. But yeah, that's what you need in a more late model kind of thing. So it's kind of cool. So we'll have to
go back up.
Forward.
Oh, cool. Well, that's just fun to play with.
Yeah, it's super easy. It's a cool shifter, very vintage, old school. Okay, are we done here? So what I have to do, okay, I guess, need a Phillips head screwdriver. We can take this apart. Oh, there's one right here on the ground. How convenient.
Once again, the garage provides.
What the other? I grabbed the fuel line. I grabbed the fuel line that was in the driveway on the other side, kind of rusting away and stuff. So I grab it, Danielle's like, the driveway provides.
It does. I've said that a few times on camera because it's true.
It works. So this thing already had a hole for the shifter, so that's cool. And yeah, I'll probably just sink some self-tappers in it. Oh, this thing does have provision. How about that? What would it do? Well, it's neutral safety. So there you go. This actually could be used in something a little more late model. That looks like it's added on. Yeah, maybe not. I was wrong. Damn it, now I'm mad. Because it's a good shifter. You can actually use this thing. Anyway. So I have to just kind of feed this through the hole in the floor. Actually, I gotta take this all apart. So there's the whole reason I bought this is because it was nice and, complete. Which is kind of a rarity around these parts. And man, ratchet shifters, they are not giving them away. I need a pair of pliers.
That's a screwdriver.
But it worked. So we'll just take this all apart so it will fit through everything nicely. This looks like it's a bit of a homemade bracket somebody had. But this shifter wasn't on this transmission. But this will bolt up and then hold all this. Well, this is, I don't really think supposed to come apart. She's a little worn. But I don't know when they made these, but it's got to be 70s maybe, this shifter. So there we go. I will slide this through the floor. I'll have to cut a little hole and screw it down and be ready to shift. What a simple design, eh?
It's cool.
I do like this one. We'll see if the guy wants to haggle on price. The shifter comes out. Okay, so at this point, everything is kind of ready to go. I put some transmission oil in it. I put 2 quarts. It started dripping on the ground a little bit, but I figured it's got to go through the cooler and the torque converter has to fill up and all that, so hopefully it'll be good. There's no little O-ring or gasket on the transmission, which I probably should have checked before I went in, and now it's a big hassle, but such is life. I checked the diff oil, it's good. We got a belt on the thing actually, so we can let it run a little bit and it'll hopefully circulate a little bit of coolant. And I mean, that's kind of that. So at this point, let's piss off the neighbors a little. I'm sure they love it. So hopefully we can run it. We'll have to watch for fuel leaks. Now, if anything, the fuel leak could be closer to the motor this time because we've replaced some of the fuel. I have all the confidence, so you can be watching for that while we blow out the speakers here. Oh yeah, are we in park? I got the shifter in, but okay, I think we're good. Nothing leaking? So far so good. Let it warm up a little. I think it's picked up fuel. Seems like it was running. Okay. Maybe not. I had high hopes, but the fan is a hassle. see if it'll go into gear. Seems like it kind of runs. I think it unfortunately just needs to get a little bit of heat in the motor and it'll probably be okay. But I'd like to see if it has gears. So we'll put this 1 quart in and see if that'll give it enough just to roll the tire. If it does, then that's good enough for me for now. Hopefully the shifter and all that is good. We need a throttle. Okay, keep the fire. Okay, so it's got reverse. That's good. I just popped it in neutral. And honestly, the brakes are draggy, so I mean, it lugged the motor right down. She got no gas. Got no gas in it. Oh!
You think your jug's empty? Or not hooked up?
Man, the DD Speed Shop isms. I filled it and everything. I was so confident it had fuel in it.
Now we'll find out if it leaks.
You know, can't make this shit up. Okay, as I was saying, now I think it'll have. I was so sure. I was just so sure. Okay. Got no gas. Should pick up by now. Does it seem like any had come out of it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it did?
Yeah.
Because it was...
Full to the top?
Oh yeah, no, definitely. So it's below the 3 liter, we'll see. It's definitely running out of fuel. So it spins in reverse. I might have to just kind of, okay, park. We got park. I think that's neutral. Not neutral. I don't have the cover on. That's also reverse. Why does it have nothing but reverse? That's forward. Is that what's spinning? Forward? Okay, so that's neutral. That's drive. Reverse. So I think the
Oh, the radiator just exploded.
it just bleed off a little pressure. This thing's got a thermostat in it, so it's probably just kind of letting a little bit out. Man, okay, so yeah.
Did it have first and...
The linkage might be a little jostled there. Oh yeah, thermostat must have just opened there because it's drinking a lot now. Whoops. Yeah, so it had, I mean, obviously it has reverse, it has forward, so that's good. And when you go down to 1, it had first forward, second forward, third forward, neutral was neutral, reverse went backwards, but it's got park is like double ratchet for some reason.
Oh, okay.
So when I put it in, I had it double ratcheted up. I might have to ratchet it 1, readjust it. So, because right now it's park, reverse neutral, drive 2, 1. But maybe I just need to take that 1 ratchet out of it so it's how it's supposed to be. But, okay.
That was pretty successful, I'd say.
See if it'll run. Oh, is it still taking fuel? Hopefully it is. Yeah, we're down to like 2.5. Think it'll start back up.
Put my headphones back on.
Come on, Daniel. We gotta rev it a few times before we shut her down. Ready?
Uh-huh.
That battery's tired. What's happened? Leaking? Oh. That's probably why it was a hard start. Let me just put it in neutral. Just store that there. See if it cranks better. That's the problem. A-okay. Oh yeah. Huh? You got the it's not even smoking that bad anymore now it's been running a little.
I feel it in my chest.
Yeah. Yeah, chicks dig that. It's like being on the back of a Harley. Okay, so that's good. I mean, hopefully it's not blowing coolant out when it was full there. So we'd have to assume it doesn't have like a head gasket issue or nothing like that. I don't have a dipstick, which I'd like to check, see if it is dumping water in the motor, but such is life. We can get something, but it runs.
It can get on and off the trailer.
We don't have brakes yet. We got to get brakes. But at this point, we can patch up that leaf spring somehow. Maybe just clamp it and ugly weld it or do something. The problem is on the end of the leaf spring, it's got like the eye of the leaf spring where the bolt goes through, and it's broken. So it just has like a little curve like that. So it's, I mean, when the weight's on it, it's not really too bad. But if you start torquing it up, it will kind of pull and bang around. So whatever. Okay, so transmission, I mean, it has some gears. We got to hook up. It does have a kick down. We do have to run a vacuum line for it, which this manifold has a provision for it, so that's good. Yeah, the belt, like everything's just in line, like it's pushing air. Like it's a freaking, look at the belt alignment even. Is it not bad on the crank to water pump?
It's good.
Like, wow. Realistically, we could probably even make this charging system and all that work if we had a regular, or I actually have a one wire we could put on. No, we're selling it. I keep forgetting, I gotta tell myself that. Okay, so next video, throttle linkage.
Queso.
Do I get some lunch? Throttle linkage. When did I say queso?
Well, you said queso.
Oh.
And I heard queso.
The internet's gonna have a field day with that one,
I
baby.
know, I hear the fat jokes already, and I don't care.
So we gotta get throttle linkage hooked up, vacuum to the transmission, rear brakes, see if we can pinch off the front brakes altogether maybe. Seats in a little bit more permanent, clean up a little bit better, strap down the battery, and I mean, if the brakes work, I think we're done with this thing. I want to do a little bit of I want to do a little alignment to it, just make it a little bit nicer, put a tape measure across it and just adjust the toe. And I mean, that's kind of it. I don't think I'm going to drive this one. I think we'll just kind of maybe drive it, you know, out maybe to the other garage or something. I don't plan on doing a whole lot of messing around with it. But yeah, that's a lot of work in a couple of days, but that's a win right there. So thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe below if you wouldn't mind. It does make a world of difference for us. Helps the channel grow and allows us to keep working on stuff like this. And let's be honest, we're here for you guys. You know, we're entertaining you. We're not, I mean, the money is nice, and the men throwing themselves at you at the gas station, I mean, I love that too. But honestly, it's just the fact that we can put a smile on your guys' face.
Can I actually request something?
No.
When men leave their boxers on the windshield, can you guys at least make sure they're clean first?
That's not how I like them. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one. Bye.